I'm from the Poconos.
My wife is from Coconut.
No way, what part?
Blinkson.
Oh, I'm from Manhattan.
Okay.
I don't know if you know.
Yeah, no, I'm from Philadelphia. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the tiniest town in
Yeah.
Manhattan, so that's, I'm impressed. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Everybody ready?
Yes, sir.
So how does it feel to be in charge of what might be the deepest position on the team?
Yeah, it's exciting. I walk into a great and fortunate situation, having all of that talent in that room. It's a bunch of guys that love to compete, that thrive in competitive settings. They want to be challenged, they want to be pushed. And the biggest thing about that is that they're coachable. They want the knowledge, they want to know the whys, the hows of what we're asking them to do, and that is producing plays on the field and allowing us to be who we want to be as an offense.
You talked about your offense being probably top 3 in the Big Ten. How does it feel to have the core coming back, Logan Loya in the group, and the TMA coming back from not playing last season?
Yeah, I mean, it's those guys having that experience makes my job easier. Obviously, they have a bunch of reps, a bunch of snaps. They produce, they played at a high level. Having TMA come back, I'm excited to see him go. He's hungry. He has a chip on his shoulder, and I'm excited to watch those guys play. They've been battling all camp. Each one of those guys, and that's not just with Logan and J. Mike and TMA. You got Rico coming in, solidifying himself as a guy that you can possibly count on, make plays for us. But the rest of those guys in that room, they are. I tell them every day, make it hard for me not to play. I force my hand.
How about Rico Flores Jr.? Is he learning the playbook pretty quickly so far?
Yeah, sharp kid, very smart. For him to be as young as he is, he's mature beyond his age. He's a football player, a really good football player that loves it. So I'm excited to have him.
What kind of versatility does Titus bring to the table?
I mean, he's a guy that can do a bunch of everything, and that's always good to have, especially what we're trying to do as an offense. I don't want to handcuff any guys and just say you're this and you're that, you're an inside guy, you're an outside guy. If guys have the versatility to show that they can play in the slot, play outside, be a jack of all trades and be a guy that we can do things with, we're going to put those guys in that position to do that and be able to get the ball in their hands, different ways.
Does Quasi Gilmore kind of push the group a little bit? I mean, he's young talent coming in, he makes some pretty impressive catches out there.
Yes, Quasi definitely pushes.
Yeah.
He is. It's exciting to see his growth and being a really early from where he was when he first came in last January when I got here in March, to see his growth over the spring, over the summer, what he's done and how he is, just sharpens his tools. But he's pushing to do some things right away, and I'm excited to see how he grows as a player. He has a very high ceiling. He can run all day. He's one of those guys who can run. He's full speed all the time. I'd rather tell a guy to slow down than have to slow down faster. So I'm excited about that.
With J. Mike, I don't know how to put this the right way, but he has so much, obvious physical talent and potential. As it maybe seem like he can take it to another level that he hasn't even reached yet.
Oh, for sure. I mean, he's very fast, obviously.
Yeah.
He can roll, he can run, and it's always good to have that speed. But I'm trying to develop him and polish his game and become a complete package, not just a guy that can just takes the top off. I want him to be able to run every route on the route tree. I want every guy in the ring to be able to do that. But a guy like that with J. Mike, I believe his track time many years ago in high school was a 10.3. A guy that can roll like that, and if we can continue to work on his tools and his transitions, he'll be dangerous.
Who would be like a new guy or an under the radar guy that you think is going to make an impact in the receiving corps this year?
It's hard to say because every one of those guys, they have made play after play during camp, and not just flashed a day or whatever the case may be. There's consistency there, and that's the biggest thing. I would say a guy that, besides Quasi, you mentioned him and how he's, gotten better over the summer, I would say Carter Shaw. Carter Shaw has developed and done some good things, and that work has shown that he's put in over the summer. You know, I tell those guys all the time that the work that you put in the summer is what's going to show, obviously, out here. You know, you go take your spot, you know, in the summer. At camp, you get to show and put on display all the hard work that you've done. So Carter has done that and it's shown.
Can you see the coach's kid in him?
Yeah.
Yeah, very smart. He thinks he thinks outside the box. And obviously, as a coach's son and as a head coach, that's what your job is, to think outside the box and think of things that maybe other people don't. And he'll bring up things during meetings sometimes, or he'll come to me and say, you know, certain things, and I'm like, okay, well, yeah, you get it. So it's pretty cool.
And what were you doing last year at this time? I know you were with the Titans last in 2022, but what was last year like?
Last year was tough, being out. I was with the Titans in 2021, 2022. Was let go after that 2022 season, but for me it was a blessing. I got to work on myself, and most importantly, I got to be there for my wife, who was pregnant at the time. So it was a blessing in disguise. You know, I had a chance to sit back and view football from a different scope. But I was able to spend time with her, be there with her through that whole thing. And you know, she's been there for me and with me every step of the way ever since I got into coaching 11 years ago. So, you know, to be able to take a step back and be there with her gave me a different perspective on a lot of things. So, didn't, you know, take a step away from ball, still did my own thing, still studied. And now I'm able to, you know, take those things that I've learned and reflect on myself and the things that I could do better, and now bring it here. So I think it made me better.
So did Deshaun reach out to you about this?
So Coach Bieniemy, EB, I did an internship with the Chiefs over the summer in 2016-17. So had the opportunity to spend the summer with the Chiefs in that organization. Great man, great people in that organization. And I was in the receivers room, but I remember taking a bathroom break, going out and going to the bathroom, and I hear Coach EB in his meeting room talking to his guys, and I just peeked my head in and just listened and saw what he was doing, how he was teaching. And for that time I was there, I kind of gravitated towards him, you know, a lot. And he has made an impact on me and how I coach and the way I do things. He's a great mentor of mine. And after that internship, stayed in touch with him. I always told him that, you know, if there's any way that I can work for him in any shape, form, or fashion, that I would love the opportunity. And here we are.
Coach, talk about that brotherhood, that wide receiver room. Everyone's rooting for everybody. I see TMA coming back, for example. Talk about that culture in that wide receiver locker room.
Yeah, it's interesting because obviously we have the culture within the team, but every room takes on their own identity as well. And as I said before, I walked into a great situation with great kids and great players. So I'm just trying to get them to rewire their hardware a little bit and their programming, and just instill the things that I need to see and that I want, that I demand out of them. But you know, there are no issues. I mean, culture is what, you know, defines what things look like at their worst. You know, but we're putting in the work now and getting those guys battle tested within my room, but not just my room, this entire team, and making this camp as hard as we possibly can for them. So when they come out on the other side, we're ready to kick the ball off. They're battle tested and they're ready to go.
With the depth at the position, what are, I guess, some of the little things that may separate a receiver from, you know, being higher than one another on the depth chart when there is so much competition?
Yeah, I mean, as guys, obviously, they got to know what to do. You know, I don't want guys out there that don't know what to do, and I'm sure the guys that are out there playing that know what to do don't want guys out there that don't know what to do. And I mean, it takes all 11, so they got to know what to do. They need to play fast and aggressive, but they also need to play with great technique and fundamentals. And the more consistent they are at executing the technique, the fundamentals, knowing the details, you see those guys separate themselves. But I like to keep it as simple as I can for my guys, so they can go out and play fast. And you know, the biggest thing is just being consistent. Everybody can do it once, but I truly believe that if you put it on film one time, or if I've seen you do it right one time, you should be capable enough and talented enough and have that awareness to be able to do it that way every single time. And I don't need guys to be perfect. I just need, you hear Coach EB said, be at your best when your best is needed. And I just need the guys that I line up and put out there in my room to be better than the guy across from them. And then the other, you know, aspect of that is, you know, if you are really challenging yourself and want to be a great player, is what you're doing on that particular rep going to work versus the best guy that you're going to see. So if what you did on that rep is not going to work versus the best you're going to see, then you need to fix it. And the guys that get that and understand that are very critical of themselves, and they are critical thinkers. And how can I make that better? How can I make that rep win versus anybody, not just maybe a second string or walk-on? Is it going to work versus that All-American or that potential first-round draft pick as it, you know, DD? That's how I want those guys to think. And if they think that way, you know, you start to see them process through things a little bit more further than just like the bones of it.
Awesome. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you.